Hey guys, it's been a while since I put on the old earphones and sat by my computer in my little office room and filmed a quick little video. So, yesterday in my car vlog, I was talking about how I wanted to go out for a nice ride on the motorcycles. That ended up not happening because we had tons and tons and tons of weeds and yard work that we had to do, me and my husband. So probably from the time I got home, which was around 2:30 until like 6:30 at night, we just worked on the yard, and we still have a lot we have to do. Today I woke up because we even had like these like little tree stumps, which I never realized how hard and difficult um, a chainsaw was. And I mean, it's not hard to operate a chainsaw, but to cut down like a thick tree stump, I thought it was gonna be just nice and like, you just go whoop, and the thing tumbles down and you're good to go. But no, that's not how it works. I mean, I was working at that stumpy for like a couple hours, and I mean, we made good progress. The tree is gone, but I have like a stumpy now, so that was like a pain in the butt to try to chop down, dead tree, right? I know there's like ways that you can burn stumps and there's other ways to kill it, but if it has a motor in it, I want to play with it. So yeah, maybe I'll drill it down and then put a fire in there and try to like burn it. But I also then made like a fire because we have like a fire pit, and we were cutting down like branches and like just some parts of the yard that were overgrown, and we were like putting it in the fire pit. And then of course it's like all the neighbors are outside, and even though like we live in a place where like we actually all have like pretty decent sized backyards and stuff, it's still like I feel like all these like old people like, oh, you're burning things, like God forbid, it stinks or whatever. And I get like common courtesy and all that, but it has to go. And I like fire. I'm a little bit of a pyro, so go in your house, I guess. Sorry, but I'm still gonna do it. So sorry it bothers you, but I still want to burn it down and play with my chainsaw, okay? And if it's like not 8 o'clock at night, like let me play with my chainsaw until about 6 or something at least, when there's daylight. Anyway, so I woke up and that chainsaw, oh my gosh, my entire arms and my legs and everything. I woke up so exhausted and just like in pain. I'm like, where's the CBD oil? And like my elbow, oh my gosh. You guys. It was just kind of like a good workout. And then tomorrow I have to get my blood drawn to see how my levels are doing with all that medication that the doctor gave me. And to be honest with you, I have been taking it, but I haven't been very consistent about it. So I'm sure it's going to come back saying like screwed up, and I'll be honest with my doctor. I'm just going to say, well, as far as like having a set time every day, I take it when I remember. I do take all the pills, but I'm just not like consistent. So we will see how that plays out tomorrow. I am not excited to get my blood drawn. It is like the scariest and worst part of this whole journey for me. I hate it. I wish there was just like I could take like I don't know, like a Xanax or something right before. So my voice is gone, so that's why I feel like I'm talking like I'm a smoker or something. But yeah, maybe I'm nervous to get my blood drawn. I need like a Xanax, or maybe I'll just smoke like one of these. If you've never seen one, it's cool. Like it has all your, like the THC and the CBD oil is in this like little eye thing, and then you can suck on it, and then it vibrates in your mouth and lets you know that you've got the necessary amount, and then you release it. No, it'll make me sleepy. I'm not gonna do that though. Yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. What else? Oh, and then I have to take my husband's car in tomorrow. We switched cars because my husband. Did you see that big eye roll? Oh my gosh, God love him, but my husband is not a complainer, I guess, which is good for some things, but other things, like if you think something's wrong, speak up. Like, don't hold your peace, because you're going to end up costing me way more money, or you're going to end up just costing way more time, or it's going to get fucked up even worse than what it already is if you don't speak up about things, okay? So a couple of weeks ago, I was in his car, or I should say, it wasn't this past weekend, but the weekend before. I was in his car. And oh my God, I thought I was having a hot flash. I was like, Justin, Jesus Christ, can you turn the air up or something? He's like, it's up all the way. I'm like, okay, well then we need to turn the air down, because it's like 100 degrees in here. It's just hot. Like, and I was like sweating. Like, when you're starting to get swamp ass in an air conditioning car, then you got a problem. So he's like, oh, yeah, I thought I was noticing it wasn't getting as cold as it used to. And I'm like, dude, like, and I'm not, at that point, like that weekend, I was not feeling good because I was on that like medication, right? And it's like slowing everything down. So, I mean, I was like, dude, like, are you serious? Like, if you've noticed that your air wasn't working and you drive a 2016 Honda Civic, I mean, yeah, it has kind of a lot of miles on it, like 70 something thousand, but like, that's not right. Like, what were you planning on doing about it? Oh, well, I just thought it was in my, it's like, how do you think that was in your head? Like, you come home every day and I tell you that like you sweated out of your suit again. It's because of your car. It's not because of your work. Like, you come home stinking, like sweat, and like you had a full workout, like, cheating on me, bitch. Just kidding. But like, come home sweating and stinking, like, it's because of your car. Like, why didn't you do something about it? So I checked his coolant levels, which I was just curious about, and he was really low. So we went to Walmart and I bought coolant and we put it in his car right away. And I thought, okay, possibly maybe that would solve it. And then I asked him, like, when's the last time you changed your air filter? He's like, what? I'm like, your air filter. Like, just curious. Like, when's the last time you changed your air filter? I don't know. So I don't think I ever did. That was the response. So brought it home. I popped open where the air filter is. It's really easy. You guys don't ever get suckered into like paying for changing an air filter. You can usually get a part for like 10 to like $15, maybe 20 if you have like a special car on Amazon or eBay or whatever. But I know, like one time some guy wanted to charge me, I think like $60 to change my air filter. I said, you better go fuck yourself. Oh man. No, my car costs $11.99 to change my air filter by myself, and it's fine. So his air filter, you guys, was so beyond dirty. Like, there was like a cigarette butt inside his air filter, and it was like just all gray and black, and it had, oh my God, it just like, it was disgusting. So of course I was like, okay, let's just go to like AutoZone and let's see if they have like a 2016 Honda Civic air filter. And of course they don't. And then they're like, oh, well, we can order it from Chicago and it's going to be like $29.99. I'm like, he can go 2 days without it. Thanks, though. He's like, oh, why wouldn't you order it here? I'm like, well, because, and I hate to say it, I'm sure you get it all the time, but I can get off Amazon for like half the price. And it was like $15. And they don't keep, I guess, at AutoZone, like some of like the newer year cars, I guess, because like I don't know why. It was just weird that they didn't even have it. So I changed his air filter, and actually it made the air in his car feel cooler, but he says it's not as cold as it used to be, so I might be Freon. I heard it. I've never changed Freon. I looked, it doesn't look hard, but I'm just going to take it into the mechanic tomorrow, and I'll talk to him about it and see what he has to say. Like, I don't pretend to know everything about cars. Like, I don't know everything, but like the little troubleshooting stuff. And my husband, he's, he didn't grow up with like his dad very involved, or like my dad. I grew up in a household where if something was like broken, my dad always tried to like fix it first. And then if he couldn't figure it out, well, it sat there for 6 months. But if like eventually, that's where I'm different with my dad. If I can't figure it out, I call somebody right away, because I'm not going to wait a year for it, But that was my dad. He would wait forever. He was a little cheap. But anyway, so if I can't figure it out right away, I'm just going to take it into the mechanic. Like I said, I've never changed like Freon, and I'm not even sure if that's like what the problem is, or if there's something more stuck in like the air filter, or I mean, it could be a number of things. And it's not blowing out hot air, so that makes me feel better. It's just not as cold as it used to be, so I just want them to check it out. So I'm doing that around 2 o'clock. My husband's going to take my car back to work tomorrow, which is totally cool. Then the last thing... Excuse me, you guys. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and it's kind of what's bringing me down, I think. When I just got like little goosebumpies. Maybe I'm exhausted. I thought my microphone was off this whole time. I just got like all disappointed, but it's on. But what's kind of bringing me down is a couple weeks ago, my grandma ended up in the hospital with pneumonia after she had beaten lung cancer. And my grandma's a pain in the butt. Probably get it from her. And she came home after like a week in the hospital, and the first night I went with her and I stayed up with her pretty much all night, and I held her up while she was breathing. I'm very close with my grandma, and Justin was there too, which was so sweet. He's so sweet. And basically she ended up back in the ER yesterday, and I did not go up and see her. I was really busy with yard work, and I figured she's in the ER. There's really not much I can do at that moment. It was already getting late. I got the phone call like around like 5:30, and it's already getting late. And I was like, by the time she gets admitted into the hospital and they figure it out, like there's just not like a lot of time. So I decided I would go out, I wanted to figure out more like what was going on before I just like went out. And it turns out my grandma's pneumonia is back, even though she was cleared on Thursday from her doctor saying that all her pneumonia was gone. But then they found 3 more spots. And I guess what it is, like lung doctor came in this morning and said that she's got like little fibers, I guess. Like, this is my mom telling me, so I don't know the exact terms or anything, but I guess she's got like little fibers in her lungs, and that is like they're hard. And so it's like if she's sick, it's like keeping the like pneumonia, like I guess somewhere in the lungs where it's like not gonna get like killed, or it's hard to like kill it. But not only that, but these like fibers are also making her entire lungs like hard or like crystallized or something. And the doctors had the conversation with my mom and grandma and grandpa, saying that she's terminal and that she's never gonna get better. And my grandfather doesn't really, he's had like 7 or 8 strokes, so he doesn't really understand. Like, he knows what it means. Like, he's not dumb, but you know, it's like things just don't register. I'm like registered to him as like it would you or me. And so his response to my mom when the doctor left is, should I call the funeral home? And you know, it's very heartbreaking to me. I know your grandparents typically go before their grandchildren, and it's the circle of life. I'm not ready for that. Excuse me, my nose, and I'm not lying. I always say that I'm not lying when I itch my nose, but I'm itching because I'm itchy. I'm not ready to like say goodbye to my grandma. I'm not ready for her to go. And in my opinion, it's not over until it's over. So I'm not going to be in denial, but I'm not going to like start like, I don't know, like I'm not going to start planning a funeral in my head, you know, unless there's a reason to, and there isn't right now. So I was so mad at my grandma last night though when I found out, and I'll tell you why. She's a pain. She wanted to go home so bad the first time she was in the hospital for like a week, and we told her, we're like, you need to stay here, like you're not breathing well, you have pneumonia, like you really need to just stay. And she was so adamant on staying in the hospital, or getting home. And she was like, well, who's gonna feed your grandpa, who's gonna make the bed, like your grandfather is such like a idiot. He put the mail on in 2 different spots, like in the house, like on the kitchen counter and then like on the kitchen table. Like, you know, my grandma, she's crazy, a little bit of a control freak, and nothing is like ever really like the way she does something is, she does a really good job. She takes pride in everything she does. So if she folds laundry, it's like perfection, whereas like I fold laundry and it's like kind of shove it halfway in the drawer if it doesn't fit all the way. My grandma is very organized, neat, and you know. So anyway, she wanted to go home to clean the house basically, and she's like on oxygen and all this stuff. So finally, when me and my mom were not around, the nurses and doctors discharged her and said, okay, fine, you can go home, but you really should go in like a nursing home, or you should like, you know, maybe consider hospice or something the first time. And maybe we were in denial, but we were like, hospice, like she's on oxygen, she can live like this, you know, probably up to like 2 years, like there's no reason for that. But they were like, oh, you know, if she can go to her own house, provided that she doesn't like get up and move around and feels like she needs to take on too much. And even if you, like, I was the first day with my grandma, she was still like up and down. I was like, no, you have to stay sitting down. Like, this is the way that you're able to stay with us, right? So my chair is hitting like the back of this, and I think it's making like a farting noise or something. It's not me, I'd claim it. And I'm vegetarian, so statistically we fart a lot more than non-vegetarians. True fact, an average person farts 14 times a day. But anyways, let me go back to my story. So my grandma was being like naughty, and yesterday when my mom said she was in the ER and they were saying it's like terminal and they're gonna have to like get her a hospital bed for like their family room, and like, you know, just talking, I was getting so mad. I'm like kind of wanting to blame it on her. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I told you to sit your ass down, Grandma. You're supposed to sit down. But I mean, that's not, you know, the reason why she's not getting better. It's not the reason. And then it's like, wait a minute, Grandma, like, I'm the one supposed to be sick, not you. Like, just let me be the sick one and, you know, let me have your sickness so that way you don't have to. It's like, you know, not that I'm saying give me all the attention because, like, I got issues going on, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want her to be sick. Like, one person in the family is enough, like, for now. So she had lung cancer. She's done. Like, that should be, you know, she put in her time with that, and now, you know, I'm doing the thyroid thing, getting that removed. So it's like, you know, give it to me. Like, she's had enough. Like, my grandma's had pancreatic cancer, and they say you have about 7 years after you beat pancreatic cancer to live, and she's lived about almost 10. And then she had her thyroid removed, and then she had lung cancer and other things in between. So I guess this is getting kind of long and depressing, and, you know, it's just one day at a time. There's a lot of great things that are going on in our lives. Sorry, I'm like just like looking down, being like, you know, being naughty, I guess. But we have a lot of great things in our life going on right now. And we just have to stay positive. Remember that, you know, you only get so many like family members who are close to you, or you only get usually 2 sets of grandparents, right? So for me, my dad's side, both my grandpa and my grandma, my dad's side are gone. And then I only had my mom and my mom's parents left. And my grandma and I are just like so close, and I really don't know what I would do, like, without her, without being able to make the phone calls in the morning, or be able to, I'm playing with like some tack and a pen, keep me distracted from crying, but I don't know what I would do without her. And it just makes me so, like, angry, and it makes me sad. And it's just really, I'm just kind of like bothered, I guess, by this. So my husband's on his way home, and he should be here really soon, a couple minutes, and then we're gonna go up to the hospital and see my grandma. And I am going to give her a big hug and tell her to dig deep, stay positive, And she's got it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.